Established in 2017, Octominer is an international mining hardware company. They manufacture and engineer the best mining equipment in the industry and supply rigs to some of the largest mining farms around the world. Their GPU mining rigs also integrate with the top crypto operating systems like HiveOS, MinerStat, and Simple Mining. All parts come with an international 1-year warranty. Exciting news! They will be adding ASIC miners for sale to their website soon and launching a new product built specifically for ASIC home miners. Please visit octominer.com or email support@octominer.com for questions.
Sanctions, not just sanctions, really talking about regulation that will, of course, include sanctions and kind of we've seen this go on for some time as far as bypassing sanctions in, Russia for using Bitcoin. The Russian banks or the central bank basically giving kind of leeway to the oligarchs for utilizing cryptocurrency because of the need for it. This is probably going to be, something that ends up being a point of contention, especially when we get further and further into, of course, the conflict that is going on between Ukraine and Russia. And of course, really at the end of the day, NATO and Russia, or really NATO and BRICS, if we're being completely honest here. And it's important to note also the influence that BRICS is going to have over the entire economy moving forward too. But this one's kind of along those lines. Nexo office in Bulgaria raided in sanctions probe. Over 300 Bulgarian investigators are involved in the raid, while Nexo tells Blockworks the allegations are absurd. The offices of troubled crypto lender Nexo have been raided by Bulgarian officials for alleged financial crimes, including money laundering, tax evasion, and fraud. Over 300 officers and regulators have been involved in the investigation, and police have searched over 15 addresses related to Nexo. Local news website Standard reported that the investigations are part of a larger international operation that is looking at violations of international financial sanctions against Russia, although the probe is currently limited to Bulgaria. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. We are looking at a larger international operation. There are going to be multiple attacks, in my humble opinion, on cryptocurrency. And it is because of essentially the ability for cryptocurrency to kind of circumvent the sanctioning, right? This is going to mean that will be utilized as an attack vector by nation states, right? By whoever it may be, members of NATO more than likely right now, and then moving on from there. And it'll be interesting to see how this applies across the board, especially when we take into account, of course, the stuff that was going on in China, where China kind of banned Bitcoin mining, and now they're kind of backing off on that. Kind of going to be, I think, a huge point of contention between essentially NATO and BRICS for quite some time. And what ironically may happen here is that the states that are purportedly free, right? The nation states that are free, like the United States, like the UK or whatever, they have some sort of freedoms or whatnot, or along the civil rights movements and so on, are going to move further away from financial freedom. And you're going to start seeing, oddly enough, this kind of lenience in the BRICS associated countries to being more financially free. And that will be enabled by cryptocurrency. But really what it is a tussle of, power between these entities. So it's this weird irony that's going on, at least in my humble opinion. The Nexo spokesperson told Blockworks that, quote, they are inquiring about a Bulgarian entity of the group that is not customer facing, but only has operational expense related functions, payroll, customer support, and back office. Adding, the allegations are absurd. We are one of the most stringent entities with regards to KYC and AML. Since the onset of the war in Ukraine, we have helped raise millions for the victims there and restricted clients from Russia and sanctioned regions. End quote. Nexo has also publicly responded to the news on Twitter, assuring that the company has not been involved in any illegal activities. we have turned down a lot of business because Nexo never make compromises with regard to our very stringent anti-money laundering and know your customer policies, the company tweeted. Adding, unfortunately, with the recent regulatory crackdown on crypto, some regulators have recently adopted the kick first, ask questions later approach. In corrupt countries, it is bordering with racketeering, but that too shall pass. The price of Nexo's Nexo dipped by roughly 6%, but has since recovered. The token has not participated in the broader crypto market rally in recent days, meaning really in all honesty, Nexo isn't recovering because it should be following the broader crypto market, especially considering the fact that the primary lending options on their platform is going to be stablecoins, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. So if it's not following that recent pump, it is in theory not as trustworthy, meaning it is going down. The only reason the recovery happened back to the original price was because of the pump of the broader crypto market. So I wouldn't trust that Nexo is going to recover. Now, as far as Nexo is concerned, from a perspective of, do you support this or do you not support this, right? Well, we go back to the fundamentals of cryptocurrency and, you say, at the same time, with a lending platform like this that is centralized, I wouldn't touch it with the 10-foot pole. That being said, it is important to pay attention to how regulators are approaching these centralized entities, because that will have a rippling effect across the entire market. And we will have to pay attention to how that plays out. The real crux of the matter is that in a bid for control at the end of the day between, like I said, like the NATO-aligned countries and the BRICS-aligned countries, the actual monitoring and sanctioning of cryptocurrency itself is going to be quite difficult, which really puts the future in a different position, right? Like the past, it doesn't always repeat, but it rhymes. And the rhyming part here is the unknown is going to be this shift into digital currencies with these conflicts. And I think that's really where, there's going to be a ton written about this, in the history books 10, 20, 30 years down the line. And we get to live through it. So I feel extremely blessed to a certain extent to get to live through this and witness it, because this is one of the most exciting times that you could be alive. It's a lot more exciting than just being, having your entire life be unchanging for the most part. Thanks to tech and how fast everything moves, we get to see basically multiple revolutions in our lifetimes, especially as a millennial or a little bit below that, or even Gen X. It's really cool that we get to experience a lot more change than past generations really have. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. You can check out the full episode here or more crypto content down here. Also, I'd like you to check out my locals page at sonofatech.locals.com, where you can become a member for free or choose to be a $5 a month supporter that unlocks additional content.